All right, welcome to The Explainer. If you've spent even 5 minutes in the gaming community lately, you know that the hype surrounding these recently analyzed GTA 6 Ultimate Edition leaks is absolutely off the charts. I mean, the internet is practically bursting at the seams right now, with screenshots, wild rumors, and microscopic breakdowns of literally every single pixel. It's a totally chaotic stream of information, but hey, that's exactly why we're here today. We're going to take all that scattered data, cut right through the noise, and figure out exactly what this massive game is shaping up to be. But first, we really have to acknowledge the hilariously painful reality of what it actually takes to get your hands on this experience. As one incredibly eager fan pointed out in our source analysis, I bought the Ultimate Edition for 7,500 rupees. Date to remember, November 12th, 2026, International Men's Day. Yeah, that is a staggeringly high price tag, and honestly, an even more staggering wait time. We're talking over 140 days of pure anticipation here. Okay, let's dive into this, because if we're waiting that long and dropping that much cash, we need to know exactly what we're getting.
So we're going to organize this chaos into 5 easy pieces today. 1. The Ultimate Edition and setting. 2. Graphics and hyper-realistic details. 3. Next level customization. 4. New gameplay and mechanics. And finally, 5. Vice City nostalgia. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with Section 1, the Ultimate Edition and setting.
The setting is essentially everything in an open-world game, and it's finally time to say goodbye to Los Santos and a massive hello to the state of Leonida. This sprawling, sun-drenched map is the foundation for all the crazy stuff we're about to uncover. But what's really crucial to note here is that the Ultimate Edition isn't just about early access or some flashy cosmetic skins. Our sources indicate that owning it actually provides exclusive character story bonuses. We're talking extra narrative content, deeper background details, and unique benefits baked right into the storylines for Jason and Lucia. It's a massive world, and it looks like that hefty price tag is actually buying a materially deeper narrative experience, not just a cool jacket.
Moving on to Section 2, graphics and hyper-realistic details. The devs aren't just making the map bigger, they are completely pushing the boundaries of hyperrealism. And this brilliantly illustrates just how far the engine has evolved. We are looking at open-world textures that are simply unprecedented. For instance, Jason's beard growth isn't some flat texture anymore. It's patchy, it's uneven, it looks entirely real. You can literally see individual arm and body hairs on these characters, and the dynamic lighting actually interacts with them. Lucia's character model has over 10 distinct facial moles, giving her these incredibly lifelike imperfections. But honestly, perhaps the most mind-blowing detail? Dynamic tan lines. Yeah, if a character or an NPC spends time in the Leonida sun wearing certain clothes, their exposed skin will actually tan and leave visible, distinct lines. You might legitimately have to manage your character's sunburns just as much as their ammo. And this microscopic attention to detail extends beautifully right into the environments and the vehicles. Just contrast the older generation's static environmental effects with this new physics engine. Take a look at the grotty cheetah. Those water droplets on the paint, they aren't a generic wet texture. They're distinct, individually rendered beads of water dynamically sitting on the surface. Or when Jason is out kayaking, the water displacement and splashing physics react perfectly to the paddle and the boat's momentum. It's a living, breathing world where the elements interact with surfaces exactly like they do in real life. Which actually brings us to a super fascinating question about the new electric fang tattoo parlors spotted in the leaks. The tattoo application process looks incredibly detailed. We're seeing characters like Lucia getting inked by masked artists in these stark, white, sterile environments. But it makes you wonder, just how far does this realism go? If you get a hyper-realistic gang tattoo, will it be completely permanent like in real life? Are you just going to have to live with that choice for the rest of your playthrough, or will laser removal actually be a game mechanic? It's a thought-provoking idea that really starts to blur the line between an action game and a full-blown life simulator.
All right, Section 3, next level customization features.
If the world itself is this detailed, your ability to express yourself within it is getting a massive, unprecedented upgrade. Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer breadth of personalization. In previous games, sure, you could change a car's color, maybe tweak the dashboard. Now, you can physically swap out the steering wheel for custom leather options and modify microscopic details of the interior. And for weapons, it goes way beyond just slapping on a standard silencer. You can deeply engrave them, and even have custom names etched right into the metal, like this golden gun bearing the name Lucia Caminos. As for the characters themselves, we can actually see Lucia getting her nails done. You can dye hair vibrant colors, green, blonde, whatever you want, and visit highly specialized salons. You aren't just putting clothes on your character anymore. You are actively maintaining their entire aesthetic.
Which leads us to Section 4, New Gameplay and Mechanics. All these gorgeous details are fantastic, but how do they actually affect the moment-to-moment gameplay loops? Well, this drive for realism is fundamentally changing the core mechanics. Check out this massive shift in how you'll play. Back in GTA 5, you basically had magic pockets, right? You could pull a rocket launcher and 10 different assault rifles right out of thin air. But the leaks strongly indicate we're adopting a system much closer to Red Dead Redemption 2. You will have a strictly limited on-person inventory. To access your heavy weapons, you'll likely need to use your car's trunk as your primary storage. You can't just sprint into a firefight carrying an entire armory on your back anymore. This is going to force a completely new tactical approach. You really have to plan your loadout and treat your car as a mobile base of operations. And neglect is going to play a huge role now too. The world is going to physically affect your vehicles and your characters. The leak showed Jason's default starting dirt bike looking incredibly rough. We're talking rusted parts and physically torn seat covers. If you drive your pristine custom ride through saltwater or deep mud and don't take care of it, dynamic rust and wear and tear will absolutely set in. The exact same concept applies to your characters. Just like the old San Andreas days, dynamic body weight and muscle changes are coming back. Your character's physical appearance is going to shift based entirely on their exercise routines and dietary lifestyle. And speaking of taking care of your cars, there's a heavily teased theory about how the mod shops will work, and it is wild. It looks like car modification will no longer be instantaneous. The theory points to a realistic 3-step process. First, you drop off your car at the mechanic. Second, you actually have to wait. Whether that's in-game hours or a short real-time wait, you wait for the NPC to physically change out the tires or install that custom steering wheel. I mean, imagine literally sitting in a virtual waiting room while your car gets fixed. It adds a wildly immersive, if maybe slightly agonizing, layer of pacing to the game. And finally, step 3, you return to pick up your customized ride later. This gameplay evolution also extends to how you socialize with the citizens of Leonida. We are moving way beyond just flipping a pedestrian the bird from your car window. The leaks detail some highly dynamic social interactions from inside your vehicle. Imagine pulling up to a traffic light, recognizing a friendly NPC from your ganger's storyline, and actually reaching your arm out of the car window to shake their hand while the engine idles. It's such a small touch, but it completely transforms the world from a static backdrop into a reactive, social environment. And finally, Section 5, Vice City Nostalgia. As much as the developers are pushing the boundaries of the future, they definitely haven't forgotten the past. They are actively paying tribute to the legendary classic era. And let's be real, longtime fans are desperate for these references. We can already spot the return of the iconic Ocean View Hotel in the background of certain shots. The legendary Tommy Vercetti isn't forgotten either. You can actually apply liveries to your customized weapons that perfectly match his iconic blue Hawaiian shirt pattern. For the gearheads out there, that ridiculously long Ghost Rider-style chopper bike from the older generation, you know, the one that was incredibly fast but notoriously impossible to turn, that's making a comeback. And if you look really closely at some of the dynamic NPCs, you'll spot characters dressed in outfits strongly resembling Tommy's old friend and lawyer, Ken Rosenberg. So the crucial point is, this whole game is shaping up to be a massive love letter to the original Vice City. So there you have it. We've organized a totally chaotic flood of leaks into a structured view of what's actually coming. From the sun-drenched, dynamically tanning citizens of Leonida to the deeply personalized steering wheels and trunk-based weapon inventories, the scale of this project is just truly mind-bending. The level of hyper-realism being injected into every single frame is absolutely going to change how we interact with open-world environments forever. So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. With rendering individual arm hairs, calculating dynamic vehicle rust, and managing realistic physics for every single drop of water, are your storage drives and hardware truly ready for this massive reality check? Thank you so much for joining me for this